Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to today's interview. You're going to meet my friend George, who is about to start PA school soon, and hear about how he got 7 interview invites, went to 5 interviews, and got accepted to all 5. It's amazing. I'm Savannah. I'm a dermatology PA and creator of the PA platform. Thanks for following along. Make sure you subscribe and like this video so you don't miss out on future interviews and episodes. All right, let's meet George. All right, so go ahead and jump in and just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, so my name is actually Gagik Sargsyan. This is my Armenian name, but everyone knows me as George because that's like so much easier, and everyone just calls me George. I am 23 years old. I lived most of my life in Brooklyn and just was raised here. I came from a country called Armenia. When I was little, I immigrated to America. Um, yeah, so I went to school here. I was studying biology and like all of these courses, and like I definitely enjoyed them. I loved like anatomy, physiology, and all these like other science courses. And I was definitely thinking about a career in medicine. I think around like age 16, 17, I was definitely thinking about it, and I had no idea which path to choose because like I knew there was like there PT, RN, MD, obviously, like all of these different healthcare professions that you could go into, and I was just like really, looking at my options, searching what to do. I didn't know what a PA was at that point, honestly. And then I was like, and then so I was a swim instructor and a lifeguard in by Coney Island, and so one of the parents of the kids that I was teaching, he was a registered nurse to the emergency room, and he was like, why don't I get you a volunteering position in the hospital? You will just, you will see if this is for you, if this is something you're interested in. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So like I went with him, I filled out the paperwork, and I got the volunteering position. And automatically I was just like thrown into this world, into this medical setting where like all these different healthcare professionals are around you, and you're seeing all these things, and you're sort of like it was very, it was like a wow moment, and definitely loved it. And that's when I met my first PA. Her name was Serena, and like this like, super pretty, super confident, like blonde girl. Like she walked in, and I had no idea that she was a PA, and like she was asking the patient questions and like writing things down, very like knowledgeable, firm. Like I just like loved her. Like when she walked into the room, the whole room was just like vibing with positivity. And when she left, like I asked the nurse, I was like, is she like a new resident or something? She goes, no, that's Serena, the PA. It's like, PA, who's that? So like that's when I first heard it. And then after like I went home, I did more research. I was just like reading about it over and over and on Google. And then I asked the same guy that got me the volunteering. I was like, do you know if I can like talk to the PA or like shadow them? Because I heard about shadowing. I already like researched it. And he was like, yeah, sure. Like I'll get you to shadow my friend who's the main emergency room. He's the chief PA of the emergency room. I was like, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. And he did. And I started shadowing PA Peter for, and I shadowed him for I guess 2.5, 3 years. I
Wow.
shadowed him for a very long time. It was like a thing. Like I just didn't want to like ask anyone else, and really loved like he was so independent. He had so much autonomy, and he was doing so much in the emergency room. So I learned from him. Honestly, I was just observing. I didn't do anything, even though by the end of like the second year, he already like trusted me with like minor things. Like I was definitely more comfortable with going like asking patients questions, and like if there was like a minor bruise or laceration he needed to patch it up, like he would tell me to do it and I would do it. But yeah, that's my little thing. And then afterwards I became a PT aide through a friend. Meanwhile, I was shadowing PA Peter and Dr. K. She was the chief attending. And then I became a medical assistant at a pain management clinic. I was uncertified, but like they took me in because they saw my experience, and like I knew someone. So like, because the doctor that I worked for at the physical therapy clinic, they had like a connection. So like he just put in a good word. And then after that, I started working at the vascular clinic, which I'm currently at. And yeah, like all this experience definitely helped me in my application.
That's awesome. So I do want to dive into some of that a little bit. And one thing that you touched on that I really, really like is the fact that you used your connections, because so many people are like, I can't find shadowing hours, I can't find experience, I can't find volunteering, how do I find it? You know, everybody knows someone, and or you know someone that knows someone. Like, it
That's
doesn't have
literally
to
what I
be.
posted today on my
Yeah.
page. I literally said that. I was like, you have to ask. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I tell people that I got a job as a medical assistant, they're like, how did you do it? I'm like, I literally applied to like 50 jobs, and what's the worst that's gonna happen? They're gonna say no. Okay, next.
Yeah.
So I just applied to all, like, I knew I made my resume. I had my friends check it, like not just any friends, like friends that like know how resumes work. And I also asked some of my friends that already went to PA school and medical school, like all these people that they helped me. And then I just sent it out to like 50, 60 places. One of them answered, more than like three of them answered. I went on interviews, and then I ended up at the vascular clinic. That's how it is. Like if you don't reach out, they're not gonna know who you are, you know? And for shadowing, especially for shadowing, like once you get that volunteering as just a regular volunteer at the hospital, you're already surrounded with all these people. All you have to do is just like walk into that, like just go to them, just say, "Hi, my name is such and such, and I'm a pre-med or pre-PA student, and I was hoping I would shadow you for like an hour next week if you have time." Like I always say an hour, like don't say more, because you don't want to like, like step into their space. And if they say yeah, sure, get an email, not a phone number, and just email them. They'll email you their schedule or something, and they'll tell you come in at this and this time on this day, and we'll take it from there. And then you just go, you build a relationship with these people, and then if they like you, you like them, then you can just keep asking, or not asking. You'll just be like, can we do this again? And he'll be like, yeah, same time next week, or she'll be like, same time next week, and that's it. That's how it goes.
Well, and it's very true. It's hard to bring someone in that you've never met, and like in what I do as a derm PA, my patients are naked.
Right.
They're already upset, not upset, but they already don't love having myself and my medical assistant in the room. To ask to bring another person can be a little bit intimidating. And then if I don't know that person, it's hard for me to ask, hey, can I bring this random person that I met today in?
Right.
Probably
No,
not
no.
going to do that. So like you said, it's building a relationship. It's asking. The worst thing that happens is they say no. And just using whatever connections you have. Even so, I got a job as a CNA at a rehab hospital to get my patient care hours.
I read that about you. Yes.
Yeah, and it was actually my dad's friend was like in management. He wasn't even medical, but he worked there and was able to connect me with the person who hires and kind of set up the connection. So it wasn't a very close, like I didn't really know this person at the time. I'm very thankful now that he helped me get that job, but it was just, you just have to ask. And then from that, I was able to meet the PA who worked there and shadow her, and I shadowed her physician and just kind of build off of that. And then she had friends I could shadow. Once they kind of figure out you're not a weirdo, you have a much better shot at getting some hours.
Yeah, that's it. Because like when I first started shadowing Dr. K, she was the attending physician. Like at first, I said, can I shadow you for an hour? And that was it. Like for an hour, she saw, like we spoke. She was explaining things to me. I was asking the right questions, but at the right, like you have to understand when to ask questions. There are times You just have to know, like I just felt that whenever she was busy, I wouldn't ask her anything. I would just like just stand and watch, you know. But they do like when people, some of them do, some of them don't. But like she really liked when I asked questions, because she would explain it to me, and then she would be like, by the end of by the end of your shift, basically, I'm gonna ask you again. You're gonna tell me what I just told you. So she would show me EKGs. She would show me like all these, like every single patient that we were rounding on. I was rounding with it. She eventually let me round with them. So I would be there for like 3 hours at the end of her shift, or at the beginning of the shift for 3 hours, and like I would do the roundings with the physicians and the PAs. So that was definitely helpful, because I know I'll be doing roundings throughout my clinical
Yeah.
rotations. Um, but yeah, like it's asking the right questions, just like being inquisitive, and also knowing when to step back and let people do their job, because they're also like in a position where they have all these different people asking them questions, and all these different patients that they take care of. It gets a little too crazy. So it's gotta know when to ask or when to just.
No, yeah, it sounds like you were very tactful in your approach, which paid
Yeah.
off. So wait, what was your bachelor's in?
So first of all, I got my bachelor's in psychology and minor in chemistry. I was gonna get a bachelor's in, I was a double major. That's why it took me 5 years to finish undergrad. But I ended up not doing bachelor's in bio, because last minute there was like a change in the school, and I would stay for 6 years if I didn't drop out. And I was like, I'm not doing that to myself. So I just took the prereqs of like I was 2 classes away from getting my bachelor's in bio, but I just didn't do it. So yeah, it was just bachelor's in psychology, minor in chemistry. I took all of the prerequisites that any school ever offers, honestly, because I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna apply, I want to apply once, but I want to be ready when I'm applying. Because a lot of people, like I was ready to apply the cycle before, semi-ready. And I think I could have had a solid application, but I was just not confident in it. I was like, I'd rather wait than like just apply with a semi okay-ish application and not get in. And that's exactly right. I waited an extra year. I got I got the job at the vascular clinic. So I added that to my resume and to my experience. And I took genetics, medical ethics, and medical microbiology. So I added those 3 classes to my I got the grades for those. So all of that, like all those A's and all that experience, definitely made a difference. Yeah, so I feel like if you don't rush it, that's one thing I tell my everyone that reaches out to me, like don't rush. You're not in competition with anybody. Nobody, everyone is like, like they say, 2 plus 2 is 4, so is four plus one, 3 plus 1. So like, just because you're taking an extra year or 2 years to get your prerequisites ready and somebody else is ready to apply, doesn't mean like it's not a rush, it's not a competition. You stay in your lane, you take your time, you do your thing to make sure that you're okay.
No, I agree with that for sure. I think a lot of the messages I get too are people wanting to do things as quickly as possible, which I understand. I think there's this sense of urgency to really most everything in life that we get caught up in, wanting to finish college and wanting to
Right.
get married, have kids, whatever, like finish PA school, get a job, then get another job. Like there's just this urgency that doesn't necessarily have to be there.
It really doesn't.
Yeah, everyone, like you said, has their own path, their own timeline. It can look different, and the end point can be the same. So, yeah, and I think when you rush or when people rush, that's where they end up making mistakes or
Yeah.
things that are hard to fix, like trying to do too much while working on grades, and then your grades suffer, and that's really hard to fix. That might
So
be a
that was
little soapbox of mine, but
so
yeah.
that was the thing that happened to me. I mean, before I even started, like I knew I wanted to, like I said, I mentioned, I wanted to be in medicine. I just didn't know if I wanted to be a PA or anything else. But once I discovered my passion for the profession, and once I realized that this is my goal, that's when I completely changed my approach to my academic. Like I prioritized academics academics and like that was just thing. Like that's when my grades went from like B's and A's to straight up B's because straight up A's because once you become goal driven, it's definitely different. Before, I was kind of unsure, but once I was sure, it was that goal driven motivation that like I put all of my effort into my academics, and even the advanced science courses, those were all A's also. But like I took my time with them because I knew a lot of people that were racking all these course like organic chemistry with A and P and micro and like statistics. So like they're taking five hard classes and they're getting B's and C's because the workload is a lot. You don't have enough time. So I feel like to fully commit your time and effort into each class, so that's why your grades suffer. And that again, like you mentioned, the rushing part. You don't need to rush. You can just take two classes at a time, make sure you understand the material, make sure that you get a good grade, and that's it. Like you don't have to rush. Take it two steps, step at a time, and you're still gonna reach your goal. You're still gonna be a PA.
Yeah, totally agree. So when it came time to apply, I know you said you really wanted to get in your first time.
Hmm.
What, like, how did you go about choosing what schools to apply to, how many to apply to, and kind of what did that look like for you?
Yeah, so I was scared that I wouldn't get in. I don't know why, but I was just so afraid. So I was like, you know
Everyone
what?
is.
Yeah, I was so afraid that I wouldn't get in. And my friends were like, "Are you crazy? Just relax. Just apply and relax." I was like, "Okay, guys, I'm not gonna." But I applied to 10 schools, and I chose schools based on like how I felt towards the mission statement because you have to do your research. You can't just apply to random schools. You have to know why you're applying there because you're gonna spend 2 or 3 years of your life in that school. So you wanna potentially, so you wanna make sure that this is somewhere you wanna go. So I applied to almost every school around New York. Like I knew I wanted to stay home. I didn't want to go to a different state. So I wanted to go to a New York school. So I applied to like my current like Stony Brook and Cornell in the city, um, LU Brooklyn, like all these other schools that were around here, and all of them had like this. Well, instead of except Cornell, it was more surgical based, and I know I wanted to do surgery. I want to do like be a surgical PA. Well, that might change through clinical rotations. I don't know, but that for Cornell, it was definitely the surgical um, point of like how it's more towards that, like they focus on that, and so I applied to that school because of that, and for Stony Brook, it was more towards the like having emphasis on the underserved communities. So like that was something I was passionate about because I did work with like people from the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens. Like all of these people come to us in my vascular clinic, and they're I would say very medically underserved because I mean it's bad. Like they don't. A lot of these patients don't know what's going on with them at all, and it's poor health management and lack of patient education, lack of access to quality healthcare. So all of these factors come together, and I was very passionate about that, and I wanted to go to a school that's also passionate about that. So like Stony Brook was definitely one of those schools, and it was definitely one of my top choices, and that's why like I applied there because they share the same goal into like bringing quality healthcare and access to underserved communities, and we have a lot of those in Brooklyn and in Queens and the Bronx. So that's definitely one of my drives. It was that's such a long answer. Should have been shorter, but I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Did you interview anywhere besides Stony Brook?
Yeah, I applied to 10 schools. I so far I'm only waiting for one more. I got in 7 interview invites. I know, I have no idea why they want to meet me.
Whoa.
And actually, one of the interviews, I was 5 minutes late. I'm never late to my interviews.
What?
One, and they still accepted me, and I'm like, I don't know why they accepted me. Because like when I walked in, she was like, "We thought you weren't coming."
Well,
I was
hold
like,
up,
"Oh,
guys. What not to do, but good job. You still got
oh
accepted.
yeah, yeah. Please do not be late, you guys. Please don't be late." That's how because all of my other interviews, I was there an hour and a half or 2 hours early because I just wanted to calm my nerves down and just like be my best self, just like feel the environment and whatever. So, but yeah, this one interview I was 5 minutes late, and it was so bad because I was already like nervous, and I walk in there and they're like looking at me like, how are you even late to this interview? But I pulled it off. I got accepted to that program too.
So wait, so did you go to all 7 interviews?
No, I went to 5 of them. 2 of them I chose not to because it wouldn't make sense. So I went to 5 interviews and I got accepted to all 5.
What is your secret?
I don't know. So my GPA wasn't that great. My GPA was 3.51. That was my overall, and my science GPA was 3.47. So it wasn't even that great. And I think you've mentioned this a lot in your blog. It's the secret is to be a well-rounded student. I know a lot of 4.0 students who didn't get in, you know, and it's not about only the grades. It's not only about your experience or your personal statement. It's everything. It's all of these aspects that they're looking at. I mean, these people, the admissions committee, like they know when they see, like it's not their first time. They go through this every single year for like 1,000th time. So like they read your personal statement and like they look at your grades, they see that upward trend. I mean, I had a C in my transcript and a D. So like they definitely see, what kind of student you were and what kind of student you are now, like through your grades. And then they see that you're interested in the medical field and that you were involved in all these activities and experiences. And then they see your volunteering and like all these your achievements. So it's definitely good to focus on everything in your application instead of just like, oh my God, I want to have a 4.0. Or, it's just you have to make sure that the goal is to be a well-rounded student.
So yeah, one thing that I say a lot is don't give the admissions committee any reason to not accept you. So if you were to ask them, what could I work on? What could I do better? You don't want there to be any part of your application that they could come back and say, do more here. And I think it takes kind of looking at yourself very objectively, because it can be easy to focus on what you do well or what you have more of and keep doing that. But that's not quite the best strategy. But that is impressive. Go you.
Thank you so much. I'm still waiting for one more school. We will see what happens. It's literally the last one because their application was they're not a part of CASPA. So they have their own application that starts in August. So they're a little late to the vibe for the game, but yeah, I'm waiting for them, and we will see what happens.
Okay, so are you committed right now to Stony Brook? Could that change or?
Right, I don't know if I should even say this, but yeah, like I'm committed. I love Stony Brook. I went to Stony Brook and I literally fell in love with the faculty. I fell in love with the building, with the program, everything. And I have a friend who just graduated from there this past August. So like she had nothing but amazing things to say about the school. And when I went there, I actually realized how amazing they are. And like they have a huge reputation. Like their reputation is great. Their rotations, everything. It's just, it's. I have to move. I have to move.
Well, it's okay to keep your options open. I'm a proponent of that.
So far, I'm 100% committed to Stony Brook, and I might even be committed after this one interview.
Well, somebody who's on Stony Brook's wait list is praying you like the other place better, but
oh my God, no, but I think it's Stony Brook.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Being that you've been to a lot of interviews, did going to the interviews change your perception of any programs? Like, did you go into an interview thinking, this program's it. If I get in here, I'm going no matter what. And then after the interview, you're kind of like, maybe not. Or one school you went to and you're like, I'm just going because I got the interview, but then you ended up thinking it was awesome.
Yeah, so definitely. I mean, all of my interviews were very conversational. MMI, I think that's how you say it, right? I didn't have those, thank God, because I really have no idea why those exist. Like, you don't do anything. I think the conversational interviews, you know, you want to get to know the person. You want to know why they're here and why they would be a better match. So just like talk to me, ask me questions, and I'll answer them. And that's how it was with all of my interviews, and I love them. But so I did go to one school. I don't know if I should name whatever.
You don't have to.
Okay, so I went to their interview and I didn't like it, and I was like I don't like the place. I mean, I thought this place would be good because it's close, but I didn't like it at all. And I was like, it's not about the faculty. It's not about the interview process. The interview went great. I just didn't feel at home. I just didn't feel like it was my place. And that's the only interview that I went to out of those 5. Stony Brook was the one that I felt home. Like, I was like, this is awesome. I like it. I could picture myself coming here, and I feel very comfortable. It was like a very family vibe with the faculty and the current students, and I really like that, and that's why I chose.
That's awesome. I love that. So you start school in potentially May, correct? That's the plan. That's what, 4 months away, 5 months away? I don't know. So what have you been doing to prepare for PA school? Are you still working? Are you not working? Kind of what has that looked like for you?
So I've been working, and I'm gonna work for another, I think, 2.5 more months. I booked a vacation, like I said, because I have to. Everyone's telling me you have to book a vacation before PA school, so I did. And right now, me and my friend Jenny, like, she's going to medical school. She's also starting at around the same time, I think. And me and her are just reviewing anatomy together. But I also heard a lot of people tell me not to. They're like, just don't do it. Just relax. Why do you need to stress yourself out? Because you're going to be stressed out for the next 2 years. And I think they're right. And I don't know if I should. What do you think, Savannah? Should I review anatomy?
Well, okay, so a couple things. It depends on how recently you took it. If you took it more recently, you probably feel a little bit better about it. And then, so graduate school anatomy is a lot different than undergrad anatomy. In undergrad, I mean, you're learning everything and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't know there were this many structures and bones and nerves and whatever. So then you get to grad school and PA school and you start learning, and you learn that those parts that you learned in undergrad have parts. And then you have to know those too. And so it's just so much more. So I don't think it's, not to scare you, I don't think it's a bad idea to kind of review the basics, make sure you have a good handle on those, so that when you get to all those other things, you're gonna message me like 6 months from now and be like, you were right. And you will see that it's just a lot, and not that like you can totally do it. But I mean, if it was me now, they didn't have this when I went to PA school, I'd probably get one of those like Netter's coloring books and just very casually and color my way through anatomy. I don't know. Yeah, my friend has an actual like course for like a hardcore review of anatomy called PA School Prep, and it's really cool for somebody who needs like an intense review. But yeah, if you took it pretty recently and feel like, I don't know,
I do have this picture book. It's like, but it's still like good, and I'm just like paging through it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. But yeah, I'm taking it lightly.
Yeah.
I should probably just spend like 2 weeks just to like go over it hardcore, and then just feel like I'm okay. Because I think we have to take like a medical terminology online course before we start Stony Brook. I think that's one of the things. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
Yeah, we had a test that you like tested out, and you could either accept the grade you got or take the formal course for midterms. I think I got like a B+, and I was like, I'm good. I got it. No, I'll take it. So
So in PA school, is it always like do I always have to get A's, or I could just get a B and be fine?
Did anyone ever ask about my grades after PA school? Nope, not at all. I mean, they didn't ask me my job. They did not care. I didn't put it on my resume. You know what? I can't even tell you what my GPA was out of PA school. I mean, essentially, you have to make good grades to pass. Like, I don't think I got officially any C's in courses. Right. I know I got C's on tests, but I think overall in my coursework, I made like all A's and B's. Because passing,
I'm definitely gonna work hard. So.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I mean, passing for me for our test was 75 and above or 76 and above. And I remember I got a 74 on a pharmacology test the first semester, and
I'm scared of pharm. Everyone has horror stories about pharmacology and pathophysio, and I don't know.
I didn't think that was as hard. Pharm's hard because it's hard to apply it. It's much easier when you're on rotations and you're actually using the information, but when you're just sitting looking at a book trying to memorize all this stuff, it's just a lot. I think it's on my website somewhere, but Lang Smart Charts was my lifesaver for that class. Like, it broke everything down and was so amazing for pharm. So that would be my recommendation to use. But yeah, it's tough, but again, you'll be fine. I think the information in PA school isn't necessarily that difficult. It's just a lot of it, but at the same time, it's stuff you want to learn because you're interested in it. And so it's not like you're sitting in, well, you're a chem minor, but it's not like you're sitting in organic like, oh my gosh, why am I learning this? I'm never going to use it in my life. I mean, you're learning stuff that is really interesting that you're going to use.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited. I can't wait because I see like on Instagram I follow people that are currently in PA school, like going through their rotations, and I'm just so excited to like get it. Like I want to be there already.
Well, it flies by, so enjoy your time. I always thought, you know, things would slow down after PA school. I was like, oh, time will slow. No, it just moves faster and faster. So, yeah, enjoy it. But tell us where everyone can find you and follow you and see all of your amazing pictures that blow mine out of the water.
Oh my God. So, I have an Instagram called George the PAS. Yeah, so that's where I just post, like I have weekly posts. I just like talk about shadowing or healthcare hours and patient care hours, like the difference, grades, just everything pre-PA. And a lot of people have been reaching out to me for personal statements and stuff like help with that. And I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy helping them. It's because I was in their shoes at some point in my journey. And I was reaching out to you, and you were helping me. And I definitely watched all of your like lives, Instagram lives, and all that stuff. Like I definitely got a lot of information from you. So, and it's crazy how I'm sitting now talking to you about it. It's you know, it's such a weird world.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you. And yeah, that's it. So just follow me, guys, and I'll help you out.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you so much for having me, Savannah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.